I'm JR. I do vocals.
I'm Travis, and I play the bass.
I'm Cha. I do the noise.
Ooh, like personally?
Yeah, personally.
Ooh. I guess it would be just through the local scene in my hometown. Bands like Page 99 and, Frodus. And I don't know. I've been going to punk shows about as long as I can remember. So, first metal show was Metallica, Guns N' Roses, but I did some DIY stuff after that.
Hell yeah. When I was playing in Noisem, I think the first punk show I went to was in Baltimore at Barclay House.
Is that place still around?
It came back.
It did?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Wow.
It's back in action.
Oh, is
kind of, yeah.
Kind of.
I just started playing a bunch of music when I was younger. We just wanted to get out more and played shows that weren't pay to play. So we started going to house shows and started getting into more extreme music.
There shouldn't be pay to play shows.
No.
Shit ain't right.
Specifically relating to DIY, I have lived in 3 houses that have hosted basement shows. I was born in '85, so I started attending DIY shows in the late '90s, early 2000s with hardcore and grindcore primarily.
Just the intensity of it, it creates intense emotions both ways. Like, people usually love it or hate it. It's a physical music, it just brings out the inner animal in people. I think the part of people that needs to be expressed more, especially now. It's an outlet, and I think that's why people are so passionate about it.
It's very communal. So I know a lot of people that all their friends are in the scene, and I don't know, it's just really friendly, very open to everyone, and that's how I got into it. I just always was looking for the next extreme thing I can listen to kind of channel all that. I don't know, I found a lot of people that shared common interests, and that's how I got started with it.
I don't know how I can piggyback off any of that, but extreme music is usually the loudest person in the room, is usually the thing that I most identify with. Every year I'm alive, I find something heavier than the year before. It just gets more raw, more powerful. It's just what I identify with the most.
No, dirtiest show I've played was probably Remington in Baltimore. There's dog shit on the ground.
Nice.
And it smelled. The first time we played it, it was fine. And then next time we played, it just smelled dog shit everywhere, and the ceiling was torn down. It's crazy. It's honestly the cleanest.
Are you out of your mind? They didn't have a
Dude.
Ceiling.
If you played some of the
They
shows I
didn't
played,
have a ceiling?
It literally did not have a
it
ceiling.
doesn't make it dirty. It just makes it empty.
Not having a ceiling counts for this.
Every
Okay.
show.
Isn't that just called being outside?
I mean, they didn't push through the roof. They just pushed through the.
Do you go to the park and you're like, there's no fucking ceiling here?
What the fuck? Where's the ceiling out
This
here?
is fucked up.
Someone get my balloon. No.
So, dirtiest venue.
Dirtiest
That's
venue.
easy for me. Are you from Philly? You might not be old enough to remember Stalag 13, but there was an old punk squat in Philly called Stalag 13. That was so gross. Just the unspeakable grossness of, God forbid you ever had to take a shit in Stalag 13. There was only half a door on the bathroom, and yeah, the toilet looked like, crusty punks were fucking on top of it. It was pretty bad. We also played an old porn theater in Indianapolis that was pretty gross.
Was it sticky?
It was pretty sticky. The thing I remember about it was outside there were a bunch of crusty punks and they set up a slip and slide.
Whoa.
And all the water was gray, and it was really disgusting, just watching, because I don't think any of these kids had touched water in probably 10 years. And it was bad, dude. It was bad.
The one that comes to mind is there was a house in Remington in Baltimore. The first time we played it was fine. It was nice, whatever. That night we tore the ceiling down, just dust everywhere, and then we played again maybe 6 months after, and it was a total shithole. There was dog shit literally hanging out everywhere, upstairs, downstairs, and it smelled really bad as soon as we got in there. The ceiling was still torn down.
The one that comes to mind was a house I was living in College Park, Maryland. I'm not going to say the name of the house venue for self-incrimination purposes, but I lived there, and when we got asked to leave, shall we say, we decided to throw one last show, as you do, and we decided to advertise it as a house destruction party, which didn't take much because the house was already a shithole. Some details, the bands played in the basement, and the basement, although it had a hard wood, kept flooding, so guitar players couldn't put their guitar pedals down because it was a damp floor. So we took a door off the hinges, put the door on the floor, so we had this kind of bullshit ghetto 2-inch.
You had a pedal riser.
Yeah, a 2-inch pedal riser that was actually just a door ripped off the hinges. And that is how most of the guitar players didn't get shocked most of the time. And then it was just, house destruction party. People kept tearing down the walls. Someone threw the couch outside in the backyard and lit it on fire the wrong way. Here's how you light a couch on fire the wrong way. This dude lit the couch on fire, then started to pour the gas tank directly on the couch. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to just pour a little bit of gasoline on the fire. But what this guy did was pour the gas tank on, so the tip of the gas tank caught on fire, and he's like, oh, my gas tank is on fire now. And he starts swinging it around, creating this...
Like a flamethrower?
Yeah, exactly, like this poor man's flamethrower. Everyone, including me, runs, and he hits this one girl in the head and burns off 2 of her dreadlocks. And that was the dirtiest venue I ever played.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little arson
the smell
tip
of
here.
burning dreadlocks. That had to be delicious.
It smells like burnt popcorn and onions.
That might have been oversharing, but hey.
Ooh, I got one.
Go for it.
So this happened at the Philly Beer and Metal Fest when we played Prowler in its entirety. I think it was like 2 or 3 people maybe that were like taken out on stretchers during our set. One poor kid like broke his ankle, I think. That was the craziest thing. Either that or like the Maryland Death Fest where the chick like pissed on the dude's face during autopsy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. The one that comes to my mind is we played a show in L.A. There was a point where I think there were 6 different fights happening in the room at the same time. And we actually had to stop the show because I think every single employee was trying to pull someone off of another person. And we had to... Like, it gets nasty in L.A. Like, we always have a lot of violence, a lot of fights, a lot of stretchers. Blood. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get some bad vibes in that town, like you gotta get it under control, I remember that was when the city was burning too. Like you could see it up like on the, up on the hills, just everything was on fire. You know what I mean? Just like, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna play a metal show. Okay. This makes sense. Oh, it's that fucking festival's crazy, man. It's totally, having played a lot of different festivals in a lot of different countries, it's totally unique. It really almost revolves around the crowd more than the bands. The crowd is just wild, and they're wild the whole time, like for 5 days that fucking shit goes on.
Yeah.
And they're just as crazy at the end as they are at the beginning, and it just never
lets up.
Yeah, I don't know where they get all the energy from. Like there's like the one naked dude who's just like, he's just naked for 5 days, just running around with his dick hanging out like in the mosh pit, like whatever they're putting in the water over there in Czech Republic. I think I've called it kind of like the Church of Grindcore. Like if you're a Grindcore band, it's probably about the coolest show you can play anywhere, because that's what they live for.
That's always been a dream.
They live by it, they die by it.
Yeah. I've always dreamed about playing it. I finally got to play it. That was like the first time I was super fucking nervous to play, because I was like, this is like grind heaven right now, you know? Fucking PLF played, Macabre played, and like it was a trip watching these bands, and being in that area was pretty magical. First going there, I walked into the side gates with JR, and as soon as I walked in, I saw this like gray-haired Jesus-looking guy with his little dicky hanging out. I was like, all right, this is what I hear about, you know, naked people walking around, getting a little crazy, you know. And they have like a sweet dance party at the end of the night where they play a bunch of ABBA, and that rules. It's a festival for partying and drinking and hallucinogenics, all that. Drinking hella
It's like
absinthe.
Disney World. It's just magical.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I love it. I want to go back.
My first show was in Portugal at SWR Fest 2023. That was a trip. My first show, but a really, really, really good show. Really good crowd. Huge fucking crowd.
That's a fun bunch over there.
Yeah, that's my Master of Puppets moment right now.
One of my favorite memories, we played Damnation Festival a couple years back with Godflesh and, you know, all these incredible bands, and we were playing Prowler in its entirety. It's probably one of the biggest shows I've ever played. Like, I remember walking out during the intro track, and it was like a sea of people. Like, I couldn't see. The only time
must have been like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
There. It was a big show.
It was a huge show. I would like look back and I'd see the wall of the I think it was like a combat stadium kind of place. I saw the wall, but I didn't see the people back there. That's the first time I've ever seen that. And it was like kind of trippy. And then I remember towards the end of the evening, I went to go watch Godflesh, and I was looking for JR because he was like stoked to see Godflesh play Street Cleaner in its entirety. I was like, where's JR? Where is he? And I walk out to the balcony. He's passed out on the floor, sleeping like a little baby.
Yeah.
That was a fun memory because
That was a crazy night.
we were getting into all kinds of shenanigans that night.
I was just talking to Adam about this show the other day when we played the GWAR-BQ in 2012. That was the craziest show that I think we've ever played. They set us up in this like gazebo, you know, thing. The crowd like overtook us. We had no room to do anything. They started climbing into the rafters and like shaking the place like it was we almost died, I would imagine. We all felt like we were going to die, but you know, you get that juice, you know, when you're walking on the edge of death, you know, that's when it's the most fun.
I think the best advice I got was from Dave Whitty. Take everything slow. Practice it slow, continually, or gradually get faster if you need to. But another piece of advice I've got from someone was say yes. You know, if you really like what you do and you want to get more into things, just take whatever opportunities you can get, and, you know, try to enjoy life and not work yourself to death. These times, you know, it's hard to kind of live a little bit, but try to just keep yourself happy. Playing music, don't really have like the highest expectations about things, because you'll just like kind of let yourself down. Just go into it without any expectations and do it because you love it. Don't do it because you want to like make $1 million and be like a rock star or whatever. Just like do it because you love it and you love playing music.
Yeah, he kind of nailed it. Fuck egos. Fuck that rock star mentality. There's nothing worse than bad people in good bands. Yeah, we're all in the same game, and we just are doing this because we love it. That's all. You
know, I just think about like, you know, when I was younger, you go to see a show and it makes such a huge impact on you. And to the band that's playing, I mean, it might have just been another show. You know what I mean? But you know, you can really have a lot of impact on other people's lives and you know, how they feel and like, you know, what they think. Not even just about music. That's just life. You know what I mean? Just like making connections with the people around you. Really what it's all about is making a connection with your bandmates, your fans, with the music. You know, that's really the only thing that matters. Everything else comes and goes. I don't know. There's a couple that I'm like kind of proud of. I mean, I like the girl in the Slayer jacket. I was really happy with how that one turned out. A lot of the stuff on the last record, actually, I think at this point, I'm just always really excited when I come up with something that I haven't done before, because I've got, I don't know, 170 lyrics that I've written probably. It's just really hard not to repeat yourself. Like when you're first starting out, it's like the world's your oyster. You can write about anything you want. But now I have to try to get clever about it and try to find like new pathways and avenues that I haven't explored yet, and just try not to make the same thing twice. Chugs, lots of chugs.
Lots of chugs, lots of chunks. You need a slutty riff. You need a riff to stick in your mind and to make you feel sexy. I feel like that's one of the most important things. And I don't know, it's just something that makes you, I don't know, feel anything, I guess.
What he said, man. Riffs, riffs, riffs.
You need a drummer who beats the shit out of his drums.
There's a lot of parts of the recipe, but riffs are a big part. Good frontman is one of them. Kick-ass drummer is one of them. Badass low end is one of them.
You definitely got to know how to write a song. I don't care who you are. You can have the best guitarist in the world. You need to know how to write a goddamn song. A lot of these people out here do a bunch of twiddly doodly dally doodle dally and then into a breakdown. But like, you just, I don't know, listen to the classics. You know, you need something catchy, and you gotta tell a story. God damn it! Like, quit just riffing off all the time. You know, get a life.
Well, it's understanding dynamics, and sometimes the heaviest thing that you can do is not heavy at all. It's just a juxtaposition of, you know, of an arrangement, or the space in between, you know, is what makes a riff heavy sometimes. I think it was Rich from Brutal Truth who said that playing fast all the time is not extreme. You know, like doing the same thing all the time, whatever it is an extreme. Like if your entire album is blast beats, it's just kind of all runs together. Like you have to figure out ways to make it sound fresh and make it so that people aren't expecting what's about to happen. And that's how you get that sort of live edge to it. You know, like when people are listening to your song and they already know like where it's going to go and what it's going to do, there's nothing exciting about that. You know, you have to keep people guessing and keep yourself guessing.
Keep on rotting in the free world and play fast and eat ass.
Smoke weed every day.
I'm with the eating ass part, but you know, clean it up first. Like don't eat dirty ass. That's a bad habit to get into.